Welcome to our back porch here at the SKP Saguaro RV Co-op Park in Benson, Arizona.
We have been leaseholders here for going on 6 years. This is Zephyr's home base and is a place that we return to basically every other year. But why are we leaseholders here? What's the deal with this park? And
what is a co-op?
What is a co-op? Why would an RVer want to be part of a co-op to begin with? We're going to cover all of that because we get asked so many questions.
Staying on the path that I've chosen, straight up, come my way and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story, and I can feel it coming, like the rising of the sun. Straight up.
Well, hi there, I'm Cherie.
I'm Chris.
And we have been full-time nomads for going on 18 years now.
And for a significant number of them now, and yes, I guess 6 years, we've had this as a back porch. Our closest thing to a house we've ever had is this little casita here on our RV lot at the SKP Saguaro Co-op. And this has been a big deal for us to have a home base. But
Well, it's not a home base.
Well,
It's a nomadic port.
A nomadic port.
Yeah.
Yes,
not
that's
a
what
home
we.
base.
Yes.
But it is a home base for
a
many,
lot
and
of
that
people.
was kind of the concept what the escapees came up with when they enabled these co-ops to be created. Was a lot of folks who were full-time travelers were ready to have more routes, but they didn't want to give up full-time RVing or living in their RV, but they wanted more of a community. They wanted a place where they could be still for maybe a season or even for the whole year once they were off the road. And that's where the co-op concept came from. And a lot of these were built back in the 80s and 90s. And there are 11 of them across the country that are part of the Escapees co-op system.
Yeah, and the big difference is when the co-op is you are not an RV lot owner, you are a leaseholder, and you're leasing your lot, and then you are part of the co-op. You are part of the management, the decision making, everything. It is a communal effort that comes together to build a community. So people have kind of an investment in where they're at.
And these parks are not owned by the Escapees RV Club. They are owned by the co-ops themselves, and everything is shared here, from the group amenities, whether the park is offering clubhouses or workshops, pools, pickleball courts. They vary a lot across all the different 11 co-op parks throughout the network because they're all individual. They all were created by the people who live in them and what they wanted.
Right.
So you do have to be an Escapees member to stay at or get a lease in any of these parks. And if you're a full-time RVer or part-time RVer, you should be part of the Escapees RV Club anyway, so that's a no-brainer. It's only $50 a year. Join the Escapees. It's a great organization. We've been members for a while.
Or the escapers, the cool half of the club.
No, it's all cool. Escapers is more aimed at the working-aged RVer, whereas the Escapees is the original club formed in the 70s. Now, this park in particular, we chose it because, well, number one, location. Benson, Arizona is on the east side of Arizona. It's a little more accessible for us to get to because we are East Coast based with our boating life and family. So,
right. And we had heard about the I think it was Nina from Wheeling who was the first kind of exposed us to this co-op concept, and they told us that they had put their name on the list like 8 years ago.
When we first met them back in 2013, I think they had just gotten on the list and had told us about it and had just like raved about their experience coming here as renters. So we stopped in 2015, I believe, was our first visit.
Yeah.
We came here to visit mutual friends, Jill and Tom, who happened to actually have this exact lot. We ended up with theirs. That's a story in and of itself.
Serendipity at work.
Absolutely. We also fell in love with the park. It is just beautifully maintained. It's got this terrace landscape that we're overlooking the Dragoon Mountains over there. The lots are huge. They're
huge lots.
Okay. they're
huge,
nice
beautiful lots, great views. The town has got just enough stuff in it to, it's got groceries and a great hardware store and, all the
got
basics.
A hospital, doctors, post office, everything that you need. And then it's like less than an hour away from Tucson, Sierra Vista, and other places with big city amenities.
Right.
Like Thai food.
Thai food. Can't get Thai food in Benson. And so it's a great location. It's on right on Highway 10 or close enough to Highway 10 that it's easy for us cross-country travelers. It's got a pretty decent climate. It's very pleasant in the winter. The nights can be a little chilly, but in the daytime it is absolutely beautiful.
In summers, it does get hot, but because we're at 35-foot elevation, it doesn't get as hot as like Phoenix or Tucson itself. So the elevation helps keep things a little more temperate here.
And we're not going to be here in the summers, is
well,
the plan.
but Zephyr is.
Yes,
so we are concerned
about
about Zephyr. It doesn't get as hot as other parts of Arizona, so that's a plus for sure.
Yeah, and then one of the other things we fell in love with is the miles and miles and miles of hiking and trail running and just exploration right out the back door of the park. So, almost every day we're out in the desert in some form, just walking and or running, and it is just beautiful to have access to all of that right there.
And the amenities that are offered here, there is a clubhouse with a library, billiards room, there's laundry that's very affordable, there's constantly all sorts of entertainment activities going on, all community organized, all sorts of events, nonstop. You can be as busy as you want to be here.
And there's a community workshop too with tools to loan and saws and expertise to tap into. So there's also a lot of great places to work on projects here as well.
There's lots of garden areas and outdoor meeting areas. There's a storage lot, a dog park, and it's just, the whole community just feels loved. You look around, each lot has its own unique characteristics to it. People have built casitas, they all look different. Their landscaping is all done differently. So each lot has its own unique feel, but yet there's a cohesiveness to the entire community that makes it feel like it's one
big community. It's just got a really great vibe here, and it's and you just see it. You see the love in it, and just the attention to detail and care and upkeep and landscaping, and everything in this park is kind of immaculate, and that just feels good to come back to.
Yep, and that's all because of the community that upkeeps it, because the very people who live here are the ones that are responsible for making it be what it is and keep what it is in its original intentions. Now, why we picked this one is obviously we have great things to say about it. We just really felt wonderful here. We originally wanted what's called a blank lot, a lot without a casita, because we're not ready to settle down. Even after 18 years on the road, we're still not ready to settle down. When we were looking at this, we were 45 years old when we got on the hot list.
And we were mostly just looking for a place, because we were going to be doing boating. We wanted a safe place to store Zephyr and keep our bus in the West, in Arizona, in the winters. And one of the perks of this particular co-op is that if you have a lot, you get a free space in the storage area.
And then your lot goes in a rental pool, and then that offsets a lot of your ongoing maintenance costs with the rental pool credit. So it seemed like a way that we could have storage for Zephyr, have a great winter home base to be out here to roam the desert in Zephyr and or the van. We didn't have the van at the time, but that's been an added benefit. And we thought it'd be a very affordable way, and then have a community that we could build in over time. When we are ready to settle down, this could be a spot that we want to settle down.
And then we kind of got really lucky, just the serendipity all clicked, that we ended up, when we finally got high enough up the list and called on just the right day and the right time and all the circumstances, we ended up, instead of a blank lot, a lot with a casita. And we couldn't be happier that we ended up with one, because all the casitas are different here, but this one was perfect for us to be an office and workout studio living room and TV movie room, and we've grown to absolutely love having this when we're here as both a living and social space.
Right. Now the casitas here, this is zoned an RV park. You cannot live in the casita, so you can't have a bedroom. You can't set it up there as extra space or guest space or something like that. But they can be set up for any of these purposes. Ours is plumbed.
Does not have a bathroom yet, though.
But it is plumbed to put a future half bath in, which we plan to do at some point. But otherwise, it is just a great extra living space. So when we come here, we get a lot of work done, and we get a lot of TV watching done. We love hosting happy hours and game nights with friends. It's great. And another reason we picked this park is most of the co-ops, not all of them, are designated 55 plus up. And to be a leaseholder, you have to be one person in your household has to be over 55. We weren't at the time when we
We're
purchased.
still not.
We're still not. Zephyr is.
Yeah,
she qualifies.
Yes.
This park is designated 55 plus up, but they follow the rules, which you are allowed to have up to 20% of your residents under 55 as long as you do the paperwork.
Yeah, so they're very welcoming of us youngsters here, even though we're still on the very young side of the scale here. They're open to newer generations coming in the new blood.
Yeah, they seem to really appreciate having the younger energy, know that we're going to be the ones carrying on the legacy and the story and the history of this as we age and welcome newcomers to
Yeah.
the park. So we love that attitude at this park is they allow under 55 leaseholders. You do have to be an adult. You cannot have children in the park for more than, I think, 2 weeks out of a year or something like that.
Yeah.
So it is an adult-only park, and so they do maintain that. So first of all, you can stay in the co-op parks if there are open people leave them in the rental pool. You can rent them. This park does have many that are constantly in the rental pool because a lot of people like us are not here very
all
often.
the time, yeah. And particularly in the shoulder seasons and stuff before it fills up in the winter, there's a lot of availability, and they have a really great like 1 week special for first time visitors and stuff. So it's a awesome way to come check out the park if you're an SKP member, is to come for a week, or you can also just come in and they have dry camping and basically boondocking in the parking lot here too is another easy way to visit even if the park is full.
Very affordable rates we have found here at the park to come and check it out, and they even do have some long-term rental spots without being a leaseholder. Now, if you want a lease, it is typically about a 3 to 5 year process to get a lease. It is some time investment. It is a long wait. It is a very popular park, and a lot of these parks are very popular. So if you decide you want a lot, you have to get on what is called the hot list, and that costs $500 to get on the list, and that is basically a deposit towards your lease, and it is fully refundable.
Right.
There's also an application fee. I think it's like $25.
Yeah, and that is one of the things that so many people have done is they're like, hey, maybe someday I'm going to want to have a place like this just to park an RV as a potential home base. They're just hedging their bets, and $500 is not a lot to put your name on the list because you don't know what you might want in 3 or 4 or 5 years, and that's actually been kind of there's so many people on the hot list that are holding their place. So the hot list, is up into the 300s now, but people getting lots are in the 120s, 130s, 140s, even sometimes 150s, because like the first 100 people on the hot list are just kind of holding the right to jump in and get in anytime.
So basically the way it works is as leases are given up, so let's say we decided to no longer be here, not saying that at all, but let's say we decided we no longer wanted to be here, we would then clean out our casita and then turn the keys in and tell them that we were giving it up. They would then make it available first to other leaseholders who want to move into this spot. And then if no one currently in the park wants this lease, it becomes available to those on the hot list. Now, if you're on the hot list, you have to be paying attention to the available lots on their website, and you would call in. It's like a couple-hour window on a Saturday, express your interest.
And then call back to see if you were the lowest number that called in on that particular Saturday. And if you were the lowest number that called in on that Saturday from the hot list, you get the lot.
You get first right to the lot.
First right.
And then you're now a leaseholder. The leases start a blank lot right now are going for about $17,000 in early 2024. When we got ours, I think they were going for about $12,000. They do go up in price every year based upon the capital improvements made to the co-op. And here's the thing is once you have a lease, you can't sell it. So you can't go put it on the market and market it yourself. You cannot make a profit on it. You can't leave it to your next of kin. If you pass away, it goes back to the lot and then the proceeds go to your estate.
Right.
So this isn't something you're going to invest in profit from like traditional real estate.
But on the other hand, you will get back what you put into it. So that $17,000 to get a blank lot, when you give up your lease, you will basically get back exactly what you put in, and all those increases over time that just add to the value of the lot, you will get those back. So
if you put in a driveway or you build a casita or you make improvement, like when we finish out the bathroom here, that'll add to the value of our lease and we'll get that money back. Now, we also pay ongoing expenses like assessments, which go into the capital improvements of the park, and you also get that back at the end of your lease as well when you give it up. Then there are ongoing costs. The first is the M&Os, or maintenance and operations. This goes for all the things that make a park run. So the office staff, the maintenance, the water, the Wi-Fi, the cable, all those things get into a pool, and then we all split. They take the income of the park coming in from rentals and other things like selling of propane and the laundry, and then they offset that with what the actual expenses are, and then we all share in that. There's 297 leaseholders in the park, and we all just evenly divide that each year. I think in 2024 it's going to be around $1,800. I think is what I heard. When we first came in, it was about 1,100. Those have definitely gone up over the years, but you'll pay that annually.
But you also can offset that a lot by putting your lot into the rental pool. So if you're not here and you don't leave your RV on your lot and you put your lot into the rental pool and put your RV in storage or take it out and go traveling, if for at least the majority of a month, so I think it's
16 days.
16 days of a month, your lot is in the rental pool, you get a share of the park's rental income for that month is divided among all the lots. Whether your particular lot was rented or not, it's divided amongst all the people that had their lots in the rental pool for that month. So in winter months, you can make a lot of money that goes then to offset your M&Os. So it can actually become very, very affordable to be here if you're not here in the high season.
Yeah, or a lot of the year. So
Yeah.
I mean, the high season pretty much goes from October to I think March. So
Right.
this year we're going to be here 2 months, so we'll lose 2 months of rental credit, but it should mostly offset. We will end up not paying that much in the M&Os.
Right.
Then there are also assessments. They have it broken out by general and special. The general is just like a cap of funding that the board of directors, which are all elected by the leaseholders each year, that for the expenses and maintaining the park that they can tap into, and we all replenish it at the end of the year. It does have a cap. I think it's the most we've ever paid so far is like almost $300, as little as like $60, and that's per year. And then there's a special assessment as well that is going into things like repaving the roads,
Any other big projects like
other
that, yeah.
big projects.
Drainage projects.
And for the last 5 years, they've had a $400 per year assessment that everyone pays into to build up that fund. And for 2024, there is on the election to increase that to $450.
Yeah.
So,
but the nice thing is that's increasing the value of your lot. So when you give up your lot, you get all that back. Yeah. So
it's great. There is property tax that you pay to the county in the state of Arizona. And that is not on the lot itself. That is on any improvements to it, anything that's concrete or a building. So we pay about $170 a year.
For this casita.
For the casita in our driveway. It's not that expensive. And then when you're in park, you pay for electricity as you use it. And there is another ongoing, it's not really an expense, but it is an expectation. This is a co-op. It does take all of us, it takes a village to make this all run.
So much of what happens here is volunteer driven with so many committees you can potentially volunteer on, or uncommittees or groups that do everything from landscaping to planning activities to keeping, helping each other, like, people who aren't able to walk their dogs or do simple chores. And, there's so much community spirit here and helping each other.
It's endless opportunities for volunteerism here. Since we're not in the park very often, we look for opportunities that we can do remotely. So we help with the long-range planning, we help with the tech committee, and voice, and help out where we can. When we're in park, we look for things that we can do while we're here.
Yes.
So hop in with landscaping, go help set up tables and chairs for events. Go pick up trash because we sponsor the highway out front. We'll do what we can when we're in park. But if you are going to be here longer term, it is expected that you give some of your time to the park, because that reduces expenses for everybody. And you make friends that way. I mean, that's the most awesome part. So we've been here now for 6 years. We've only managed to make it back.
We've barely been here for 6 years.
Yes. So, we come in and people say, "Oh, you leaseholders?" Yeah, we've been leaseholders for 6 years. Why am I never see you here? Well, we weren't expecting to get a casita. And honestly, the casita being here, it makes us stay longer than we intended. But we only managed to make it out here because we are so East Coast based with the boat and family. That
and our original plans were that we'd be having the boat more up north and be spending more time in the winters out west, and just our great looping schedule hasn't quite worked out like that yet. So we've only made it all the way out here every other year. There was a pandemic, there was a hurricane, there's all these things that have ended up canceling our plans to get here. So we've missed 2 complete seasons out here.
But we have managed 3 seasons out here. We tend to stay 2.5 months at a time. It has been a great place to just be for a while and have a place to spread out. We have a lot of friends that come through. So it's been a wonderful community and getting to know the people here. But yeah, we don't feel a big part of the community because we're not here longer term, like so many that come in here for like 6 months at a time or more. But we feel that is our future.
Yeah,
we
well-
are not ready to slow down. We're not ready for the purpose of this park yet.
And there are quite a few of the people in the park that have been through that exact process of, they had leases 10, 15 years ago and were doing a lot of traveling. Now they're doing less traveling and are here more. And that's kind of the progression. And that's, I think, kind of the purpose of the co-op is it gives you a landing pad to kind of ease into as you want to use it more and be more still in a beautiful Arizona environment.
Yeah, but overall, we love the park. We love our time here. There is so much that we can springboard from here to go and explore. So go see our videos on the stuff to do around Benson and all the things that we've done each year. We kind of do a recap, and we'll have a video out along with this one nearby about what we've done this season to keep busy. But it does require a bit of driving. There's not much to do right here in Benson itself. You're not walking distance to other than like a gas station.
Yeah. Other than all the trails that are right here, there's not much else that you can get to straight from the park. Even the shops in downtown Benson are a kind of an awkwardly long bike ride to get to. So it's, there's not much right here, but a lot within an hour.
Right, and that's not our normal style. We like to park and walk or bike to the things we want to see. So us being here long term, I don't know, that is one of the trade-offs for us, is the lack of things to do right from the park. It does get, it's not our normal style. We don't like to have to drive out and do things. But if we have friends around, it helps a lot.
And we've been doing that a whole lot this season, so we've had a lot of fun getting out.
And of course, we get a lot of questions because we are mobile internet experts. Is what is the internet like here?
Gosh.
And frankly, it was not great when we first got the lease here. The cell signals were very weak. The park
The park Wi-Fi was pretty marginal, and
it's definitely improved.
It's improved. It is still can be frustrating at times, particularly during prime streaming times and stuff. But of course, Starlink has been working great here for that sort of thing. The cell carriers are, they're all kind of evolving into the 5G era here. AT&T actually doesn't have 5G in Benson yet of any real workable fashion, but Verizon and T-Mobile do. And, the carriers are improving.
But definitely, because this is a snowbird area, there are several other RV parks in the area. There's definitely an influx of population in the winters. We have seen, since we got here in early November, we were able to stream to our heart's content in the evening, and now we get some buffering.
Yeah.
But it's still very workable. We use Starlink a lot here. The park has done a lot to improve their Wi-Fi and get it distributed. And most people can get probably, 3 to 5 megabit per second down reliably?
Yeah, 3 to 5,
Yeah.
which means not quite 4K streaming land.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So the internet is fine here. We've done lots of video conferencing here, a lot of video calls, a lot of broadcasts without problem. So we feel it's very workable, or else that would be
we
would be here.
Yeah.
But the internet is workable. Just make sure you have tools in your arsenal coming in. You will need them. Exterior antennas help a lot here to get the
definitely does.
signals.
And anything else? I don't know. Come join us. Get your name on the hot list.
Yeah, or just come visit the park. Come in. You can. I think the weeklies right now are like $166 for a week with full hookups plus electric. And if it's your first time, it's 50% off for your first week. Monthlies are like a very reasonable, like $465 a month if you can get a spot here. And it's all first come, first serve, no reservations. And if there's not a lot available when you come in, you can stay in boondocking for $10 a night.
And while you wait for a lot to
wait
pop
for a
up,
lot to open up. It's just, we've done that before when we were first coming to visit the park.
So this is definitely check it out. If you're passing by anywhere nearby, this is a great park to check out, and good reason to use your Escapees membership and just come here and enjoy the trails and enjoy the community.
All right. So we're packing up and getting ready to go back to boat life. We create these videos just for fun, and we love having you along for the ride. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, or if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.